brewery, don't ever mention you have a hotel in the brewery. He says it's called Between the Sheets with the Brewer. So everything to him is focused on the brewery. Now he's a very smart man. He knows everything about brewing and all of that. And he's a very nice man too, and very talented. Because he turned, in 10 years, he turned that brewery around to the blooming brewery it is today. So he's really, really special person. Now, if you look at the back here, you turn around. This is a palette of what we make in the brewery, of beers. Now, we got two ones missing. That's the Anchor Pils, which is the regular beer, which we don't want to brag about because it's just a normal beer like any other beer. And we have the Boscoli, which is liked very much by women because it's a very fruity beer. It's actually very nice. Well, by some women, I'm sorry. Now, when you look at the first four, that was actually the basic palette. The classic, or the triple, the classic, the Ambrio, and the Hop Senior. Name Golden Carolus comes from in those days when Holland and Belgium were one country called the Netherlands. Mechelen was the capital of the Netherlands. And it was ruled by Margaretha from Austria, and her cousin, the Emperor Charles, spent some time here in Mechelen. And the currency that was used in those days were called golden carls. There, the name Golden Carolus comes from there. They're all 9% of alcohol. If you look at an average beer, it's 5.20. This is 9, so it's pretty tough beer. Lucifer was a brewery that went bankrupt about 6 years ago. We bought that brewery and we kept on brewing this beer because people liked it that much. It's 8%, so still pretty strong stuff. This one here is a very special one. Why? Because Manablusser, that's what the people from Mechelen are called. And this goes back to 1687 when there's this drunken man on the market square and he starts shouting, "The tower's on fire." So everybody climbs on the tower, and by the time they're climbing up, the fog comes down and they see it's the moon behind the tower. So since then, the people from Mechelen are called Manablussers, or moon extinguishers. And to honor these people, that's why we brew this beer. It's 6%, and really nice. I mean, 6%, that's a beer you can go all night on, if you can drink it. Now this is a very special one. It's the Cuvée of the Emperor. In 1999, February 24th to be precise, it was 500 years of the Emperor Charles. So that's when we started brewing this beer. It's we only brew it once a year on February 24th and in limited quantity. The blue one is a dark one. The red one is a blonde one. The red one is 10%. The blue one is 11%. So this is more of a beer you drink on the edge of your bed and then fall down and fall asleep. We had it yesterday. And it was nice.
Oh,
it was really nice. Now this can actually stay around for 10 to 15 years. It's not like wine that it doesn't get any better, but it's still absolutely drinkable after 10 years. The only thing is that the residue that's underneath, you got to leave that in the bottle. But the rest is perfect. I drank about 2 weeks ago. I drank one from 2001, which is almost like 10 years old, and it was absolutely delicious. I mean, it's still perfectly drinkable. And then what we did is that, and we're missing these two. They're actually standing out there. As good Catholics here in Belgium, we brew a beer for every religious day. So we had one for Easter, one for Christmas. Had more religious days, we would have had more beer, but we stopped right there. And actually, especially the Christmas beer, where we got a large stock in the shop right now, the best. Like, we brew it on Christmas, and you drink it November of the year after, it's at its best. Really, it's a dark beer, but